Well, good morning. Today is Tuesday, July 28th. We have birthdays today. Yeah. Today is Deanne Barnes' birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deanne. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. I was kind of thinking I screwed that up there, but it's Deanne. 2 words, I think. That's the way I got it written down in my calendar. It's also Jennifer Hill's birthday. So Jennifer, you get a song too. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. And always, 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 I always thought, and she corrected me last year, I always thought because her name of her channel is Sassy Apple, and I thought that because I used to watch Dance Moms, and Candy was the owner of the Sassy Apples, and I thought it was her, and I was thinking, is it her? Is it really her? And she said, no, it's not really me. But my name is Candy, and my channel name is Sassy Apple. So Candy, you get a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Candy. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. All right, I went for my walk already this morning, and it was hot, let me tell you. It said it was 71, but the dew point was high because the humidity was high. The heat doesn't bother me. Like I said, it's the humidity that gets me every time. But I walked my whole 2 miles. I was very proud of myself. And then I just got finished doing a cook with me, if you want to call it that, video. We made a cucumber salad. And I was starting it off the video, and I started to tell you how I was going to make it, and then the phone rang. And I thought I turned my camera off because I film on my phone. I thought I turned my camera off, and I didn't. I filmed the whole conversation on the phone, which I didn't share. And then when I came back, I turned the phone off thinking I was turning it back on. And I proceeded to make the cucumber salad. And I told stories. I told lots of stories along the way. And I don't look at the camera so much, especially when I'm making a cook with me. I don't look at the camera to see. And then I got all done, and I looked up, and it was like a black screen. And I realized at that point, and I already made the whole salad. And I'm the only one that's going to eat it. I'm going to try to get Jim to eat it, but I know he won't eat it as soon as he finds out there's sour cream in it. Because he'll ask, what's in here? And I won't lie, and I'll tell him, and he won't even taste it. Or he'll taste it, and he'll say he didn't like it. He won't even give it a try. But it serves 4, and I'm the only one that's going to be eating it, and I don't know how long it'll keep. So, before it gets all soggy and stuff. So, I didn't make another one. I just made the one. But I have to tell you, it tastes really good. I'm going to have that for my dinner tonight. I'm going to have that with some chicken and corn on the cob. That's my plan for my dinner. And for breakfast, I'm going to have a brunch today because I think I'm going to have an egg salad sandwich with a vegetable platter with it. And some watermelon, because that's my new kick this summer is watermelon. I still eat my berries, don't get me wrong. I don't want them to get jealous of the watermelon. But no, it's what I like. And then when Jim gets home from work, we're going to go look at more trucks. I go in to support him, but I don't really care. I'm going to ride in it. I'm never going to drive it. But we went to the Chrysler dealer yesterday, and we were there for easily 2 hours. And he went on a couple test drives, but the price wasn't right, and everything that he wanted brought it up a little bit higher. Whereas the one truck that we saw at the Ford dealer was right around in our price range, and it had everything he wanted on it. At the Chrysler dealer, they kept adding in, this will cost you this much, and this will cost you this much, and this will cost you this much. And so by the time they get done, it was like way out of our price range. But it makes me wonder, I see so many young people driving all these trucks and that, and I'm thinking, how can they afford this? Because they can get almost up to $50,000. That's like a house. Well, not anymore, but my first house I bought for $70,000. Now it's almost how much it costs to buy a truck. It's like, that's ridiculous. And then I took a 30-year mortgage on that. And they're only offering 5 years for the truck. So I don't get it. But so when Jim gets home, We put a hold on the one truck that he does like. This is at the same dealership. But we did put a hold on the one truck he does like. But this one he saw that he likes a little bit better. So we're going to go see what the difference in the price is for that. And then he shoots tonight, so it'll just be me having my own dinner. But I'm trying to think I could share a couple stories. I'll share some of the stories that I shared on my making of the cucumber salad, but you didn't get to see because I didn't share the stories again. I shared one of the stories, so if you want to see one of the stories, you have to go over to the cucumber salad video. But I was talking about my neighbor next door that at the time we just thought he was a nut, but then we come to find out that he really was mentally ill. And when we moved in, we never saw his mother, but we always heard her yelling at him, yelling at him all the time. And he was a man, he was an adult. I mean, he was like close to 30. I mean, so it wasn't like he was a child, but this mother would yell at him all the time. But we never saw the mother. And it was almost like we thought it was like a Psycho situation. If you ever seen the movie Psycho, because she never yelled at him when he was outside. He could be outside talking to me over the fence for like half an hour, 45 minutes. And it wasn't until he just walked in the door and she started yelling and screaming at him. So I kind of thought that maybe there really wasn't a woman in there. It was just him pretending to be the mother. But then I did find out that there really was a mother, because she ended up passing away, and I saw the body being taken out. So yeah, I think that was the body. It seemed like it was one. I've seen dead bodies. I've told you that. When I was younger, there was a guy down the street from us that murdered his whole family, and the babysitter wanted to see what was going on, and we went down there, and I watched them. Back then they carried him out. They just wrapped him in a blanket or something. I don't know if they put him in a body bag or anything like that, but it was bloody. It was bloody. I remember that. And they carried out the whole family, and then they brought out him in handcuffs. And that was the last day that I ever had that babysitter, because when my mother found out that the babysitter brought me down to see that, she got rid of her. Bye-bye, Judy. Didn't see her again. And plus the fact that she left the other 5 kids at home because they were sleeping. I was the only one awake. And she wanted to go see so bad. She probably would have went if I was sleeping. She would have left us all in the house all alone. And it was only 3 doors down, so it wasn't like she was like leaving the country or anything. But anyway, George's mother, I guess, get back to George. That was his name, George. When the father had died before we had moved in, this is from what the neighbors had told us, that they laid him out on the dining room table, which I guess they used to do in the olden days. I don't know. But they laid him out on the dining room table, and the neighbors did go and do a viewing of him there. And then after the proper time or whatever that they did, they saw him getting brought out to the ambulance or the hearse or wherever he was going, and she walked out with him and put him in the car and went back in the house and never came out of the house again until she died. That's what I heard. And then after we moved, a friend of ours had moved into the house, and so she had told us that he had gone crazy one day, really crazy, and the police had come and he got into a gun battle with the police, and he set his house on fire, and he died. I don't know if he shot himself or died in the fire or anything, but they completely razed the house, and it's just an open lot now. They didn't even, it was sad. It really was sad. But I went to high school with him. He was like a year or 2 ahead of me, and he was strange in high school too. So it's not like I wasn't really aware of mental illness back then, but I think that's what he had. And one last story about George. I could go on. I have lots of stories about George, but I'll share them on other days. Not today though. But this one I will, because the friend that moved in, when she was moving in, the church was because I rented my house from the church, they were in the process of putting new windows in. And so Connie's dad, because Connie was my friend that moved in, he offered to put the windows in on the upstairs because they weren't, that was it, they weren't going to replace the windows upstairs because it was just one big giant, like it was a bungalow, so it was just one giant big room. And the windows weren't really that bad. The first floor windows were really bad, but the second floor windows weren't. So they were going to replace the windows themselves. And so the only way you could get to the window on the one side was to put the ladder in George's backyard. And so her dad went over to try to ask if he could put the ladder in the yard, get permission in that, but nobody answered the door, so he just assumed they weren't home. And so he put the ladder up against the house, and he climbed up the ladder, and he got to the top, and George come out of the house, and he was mad that this ladder was in his yard, and he started shaking the ladder and shaking the ladder, and here's Lee up on the second floor of the house holding on for dear life, and George kept shaking the ladder, and Lee was so pissed that he grabbed the side of the ladder, and because he had gloves on, and he slid. He didn't come down the rungs. He slid like a fireman all the way down, and he jumped into George's face, and George was like, ah! Was so taken aback that somebody was standing up to him, and he ran into the house. And then he kept banging on the door, and he kept saying, I'm going to go back up there, and you better not shake that ladder again. And George never came out. He hurried up and got the window fixed because they didn't trust that he wouldn't go. But he had Jim come over and hold the ladder just in case he came out of the house again. But it's sad when people are mentally ill and you don't really know it. It really is. But anyway, I know it's kind of a depressing story when I think about it. But such was my life with George. It was a long, long 10 years living there with George. Well, I shouldn't say 10 years, because we got along for the first 2. And then he must have stopped taking his medication or something, because he just got steadily worse each year. And then we moved out in 86, and then in 87 is when he ended up killing himself. But I don't know, it's sad. It really is sad. But so, like I said, Jim should be home here in a couple hours. I got some stuff to do around the house, and got to edit and post my video still for the cucumber salad. That's about it. I'm really liking this, not really worrying too much about what I'm going to weigh on Saturday. I'm hoping that it's not going to play against me. I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping it's not going to play against me, but. I'm pretty confident and I'm making smart choices. I really am. I'm feeling a lot more relaxed, a lot less stressed, and I'm just realizing that there's no timetable on when I get there, because I'll get there. So why rush it, really? And even I know I want to get the money from my brother, but I don't shop, so. And I'm not a big online shopper, so that's going to leave that out. But it's just nice to know I accomplished it. A little goal. But it'll get accomplished. If not today, if not this week, if not this month, if not this following month, this year. I'll reach it this year. I don't have a doubt of that. So I'm not in a big rush. But I think that the fact that I put too much of pressure on myself is holding me back. What's holding you guys back? What's holding you back? Let me know, because I really am interested. Because I bet you we share a lot of the same things that are holding us back. Some of it is, do I want to lose weight? Yeah, I do. But then my family's so overweight, and then I look at them and I'm thinking, how can you be so overweight? And then I'm wondering, they probably looked at me that way too. People looked at me, not my family, because we're all not all of us, but most of us are overweight. But I have inspired them to lose weight, because they are losing weight too. So I've accomplished that much at least. So anyway, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share it if you think somebody might like to see it. And as always, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, I know I already closed out the video, but I found out that Diane C., which is Diane Cross, is the one that gave me the magazine for Reminisce. Wrong Diane. Sorry, Diane. But I wanted to acknowledge that that's who it is. I have not found my book. I have to look for it. I have it somewhere that I have everybody's things written down that they've given me. I so apologize. Thank you, Diane. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in the morning.